folks, TJ here. What am I holding in my hands? Well, if you just watched my last Terra-Master video, it was the unboxing of this very cool hybrid DAS that I'm going to be start using in my home video editing, storing of my personal pictures, all those fun things. My last video was strictly an unboxing, so now it's time to set this up, which means I've got to clear off my table in the back, which I will bring my camera over to here in a little bit, and we'll do some close-ups of me opening this for the first time, looking at it a little bit closer, installing two 4 terabyte hard drives, a 1 terabyte NVMe drive, and go through all those motions of setting it up, then connecting it to my iPad. You'll see in the back here, this is my main video editing station. I've got a nice big monitor. I've got my iPad Air 5, and I do all my video editing from it. And I wanted something to do quick, fast, hot storage of me doing video editing, and then long-term or cold storage to big old clunky hard drives that don't need the speed. And so this hybrid device really popped out at, hey, that's unique. Fast on one side, a little slower on the other in terms of hard drive, but great long-term storage. So we're going to set this up and go through connecting it all up to my iPad setup. And then I will investigate. I have never used my iPad in terms of drive speed testing, but I believe there are some iOS, iPad OS type of applications that will let me through my dock. I've got a Kensington dock there, which is USB-C, and do some speed tests of, I think really the only one I want to worry about is the speed test between my iPad and the NVMe in here to see what type of speeds we're getting. Because I'm not too worried about cold storage speeds. It does it in the background. It does it when I'm not too busy. So I'm fine with whatever speed that is. But I want to have fast video editing, hot stuff with my NVMe. So let's go ahead and take the camera off the tripod. I'm going to show you what I have behind me. I've cleaned my desk off just a little bit, and we're going to set this up, show how easy or hard, I don't know yet, but it should be easy because this is a toolless design for the hard drives. I should be able to just slap the hard drives in relatively easy. The NVMe will be a couple of screws that I have to remove from this and slide off this side cover, install with, I think, one simple screw, the NVMe drive, and then see what happens. I don't know yet. It's going to be all a first for me, so hold tight. We'll show you how this all pans out here in a few moments. All right, so let me first show you what it is I have here, and then we'll go through the whole process of installing the drives, connecting it up to my iPad, doing some tests. This should be fun. So I'm excited to have this new device from Terra-Master, and it is my very first one. So I hope that it does well for me for many years. So what do I have here? Obviously, the Terra-Master, which I will show opening things up here in a moment. It, of course, came with a power supply, AC adapter. Got that on the ready. It came with some paperwork. Now, my immediate findings is a lot of stuff doesn't come with manuals these days. This came with a barcode. I scanned the barcode. It took me to their website, but there is no user manual that I could find on this exact model. They had some other models, but not this one. So at this point, maybe they just need to add that still. So not sure. So hopefully they have an official manual here in the near future. But when I scanned this, it just took me to their main manual site, and I couldn't find one for this model. So there's that. Fortunately, it does come with a quick reference, two-sided little piece of paper that show you how to install your 3.5 or 2.5 hard drives, or on this other side, the NVMe. So that's the main stuff. It's not rocket science. You're basically putting drives in and then utilizing software on your own system to format and do those things. So, but at least came with that. And then it did come with, and I don't use Windows, but there is a TPC backup software that you can download. From what I gather, it allows you to manipulate, use the hard drive, and also do backup of what's on your NVMe to your big SATA drives. Maybe one day I'll investigate that, but I'm in a Mac or iPad ecosystem, so for me, I will not use this or have video on this, but maybe in the future, if I ever explore it, I will. But these are the three main pieces of paper I brought here. Of course, it came with the little screwdriver and the little reset key, which looks like a SIM module remover. But this little screwdriver will be used for selecting what RAID mode I will want to do. We'll go through all that. My hard drive. So I purchased two 4 terabyte drives. Now, there is on the Terra-Master website an official brand and model hard drives and NVMe that they recommend. Obviously, everybody's going to be different. Some people may not be able to get those specific models or have existing drives that they don't want to go out and spend more money. They want to use what they've got. So for me, I did not go by their specific list. I purchased what was available to me and what I wanted to get. So I'm hoping it works. If it doesn't, then I'll have to go to step 2 and get some others. But technically, I'm thinking most good brand drives should work. But at this point, I don't know. So I didn't go off of their list there. But I did buy two 4 terabyte drives, which will open up. I also purchased an NVMe. This is my very first NVMe. I think my 2013 Mac Pro. Some people call it the trash can Mac Pro. I call it the nuclear reactor Mac Pro. It has a form of an NVMe type of SSD storage, I guess, but it's not the same as what this is. I believe it's a much older style. So this is my first very high-speed. I got an HP SSD FX900. This was not on their list, but again, HP is a pretty major brand, pretty major player, so I'm hoping any good quality device should work. And this is a 1 terabyte NVMe PCI Express. All these are not the same flavor, so you got to do your homework. From what I gather, the PCI Express NVMe type of modules are going to be the fastest or best to get, at least for my reading. So that's what I purchased. So I've got a brand new of that. And also my hard drives came with, you need to format your drives in order to use them. So what I'm going to do is format these externally from this. I've got a little SATA bay that I can use. I'm going to format them in a particular Apple mode that I can use for my MacBook, my older MacBook Pro, and my iPad. And then I'll go ahead and slap them inside of this case. So let me shift these things over a little bit. We'll do a little, I forgot. So this is a USB-C to C cable. My Kensington dock for my iPad is USB-C. I'm not sure what rev USB-C it is. And there's the phone ringing. It always happens during a video. So hold tight. Let me get the phone, and we'll be right back. That call was a crank call, a garbage, spam. The story of many of our lives, right? People just call you all the time trying to sell you something. So, let's take out the two front bays first, and then I'll find a screwdriver someplace, and we'll open up the sides. So, as I showed before, I kind of did this in the unboxing, but I don't know if I showed a close-up of the back. And I'll hold it in a couple of different angles because maybe the glare from the light. But you'll see there's plenty of portage on the back. There is a port for your power supply, a USB-C port, and it is version 3, USB 3.2. So, and then a selector switch for your RAID that you choose, and then a reset, the little hole for that, using that little SIM device that I showed earlier. I guess, I don't know when you would use a reset. I mean, what's the difference of powering it off and powering it back on? There is no power button, so maybe that's why there's a reset button on here. There's no power button, so when you plug this in, from what I gather, hard drives will go to sleep because there's a sleep mode built in. But yeah, no, there is a power button. Power button's right up on top. I'm blind. That's why I'm wearing glasses, but I'm looking over them, so I can't see. So there's the back of the device. So beautiful looking, and it's a deviation from existing Terra-Master design. All their old silver, sleek design. Now it's a kind of a, I'm going to say it, sexy black color. It's beautiful looking. So there you go, Terra-Master. So on the front, like I showed before, there's a little button here, and you push. It's not a button, but it's the top, and it's spring-loaded. You just push, and then grab the bottom and pull out. Voila. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. I don't know if the lighting will be able to show in there. There's not much to these. I mean, obviously, the bays take up a big amount of space, but probably in the back there you will see a fan and a very small PC board, which obviously your SATA drives will plug into when you push them into the drive bay. So I'll hold it at a few different angles, but needless to say, there is some electronics in there. On the sides, I don't know if it'll pick up, there's lots of ventilation holes that allow airflow, because there's holes all in this. So it's pulling in air through probably the front slits here. Even though you're plugging drives in, there's still some air pockets that air can flow through here in the front. And they've got holes in the whole metal chassis in there, if I'm showing it well enough. So plenty of air can get in. And there's holes on this side as well for the NVMe slot in here to cool it. So, not much more I could show you in there. Now to find a screwdriver. I should have been prepared, but that phone call threw me off. So let me go grab a screwdriver. We'll open this up and show you what the NVMe area looks like. And then we'll go ahead and start slapping the hard drives and NVMe inside the Hybrid D5. So hold tight. Okay, with screwdriver, we'll travel. I found my screwdriver. It was just over there, underneath a few boxes. You should see my home office. Whoa. Okay, so let's open this bad boy up. There's only 2 screws. The little cheat sheet says all. So just look at your little cheat sheet. There's 2 screws, one up top, one on the bottom. That's for this side panel. You'll see a slit on the top that designates this panel should be removable. So let's go ahead and unscrew those 2 screws. Now I'm I'm getting older. My eyesight's not the greatest anymore. So I've got to look over, and even though I got bifocals or progressive lenses, I still have a hard time seeing up close. And one eye is better than the other. Screw one. Don't lose them. Everything's so small. You ever notice when you drop something, whatever it is, there's a gravitational pull underneath desks, underneath sofas. It's like black holes exist underneath them, because I could be 20 feet over there and I'll drop something and somehow it has to roll all the way over and get underneath something that's really heavy to move. So don't lose the screws underneath there. Okay, second screw. Don't lose the screws. Now, I think it comes with some extra screws, but I think those are for putting a 2.5 SSD inside here, so in the big bays. So from what I gather, I then now should just be able to push this here, and this should slide off. Let's look at the instructions again. Put it with the fan this direct. Oh, I got to slide it that way. Away from the fan, because you'll see there's the little fan here. Push it away. Okay, so. There. Oh, okay. I feel movage. Movage and then lift. So little shunk, hunk, shunk, hunk. You see how it goes? So here's what the inside looks like, in case you want to see what the inside looks like. Cool. All right, and I'll show you a close-up of what's inside here. So this PC board is much bigger. You'll see that it's got 3 slots for NVMe. And does it have the screws already in there? Yes, it does. It looks like the little screws, they're thumb screws, so kind of toolless, but maybe a little tighten at the end. And so you've got, let's see what it reads. NVMe M2 SSD, PCIe 3.0, slash PCIe 4.0. So apparently, I don't know, which one is it? Is it PCIe 3.0 or 4.0? It's got both written down here, so I'm not quite sure. Either way, it's plenty speedy enough for me. And anything else on this PC board that makes sense? No, to a commoner like me, it's just a big PC board where I'm going to slap my sticks in. I've only got one, and from what the picture shows, let's see, it kind of shows that I should be putting it in a particular, like, one slot. I don't know if it matters what slot you're putting it in, but they are numbered. You'll see that it's numbered 2_3, 2_4, 2_5 on the bottom there. So obviously probably put them in the right order. I'm going to put it in M2_3. That's where I'm going to put it. And they're 2280 NVMe M2. So cool, that's what it looks like. From a side angle, you'll see there's plenty of space for air to flow. And there is a little, if you look down there is a little piggyback board. It looks like that SS or SATA card that's in here connects with a little daughter card or a little card to this big PC board. So, oh, very cool. There is one plug here. Any other plugs? No, it looks like maybe that's for fan control. So there's a little plug here that you can, I guess if you wanted to take this apart for some reason. I'm not that type of dude that I need to tear something apart that's perfectly working fine. So, cool. Okay, so you've seen the inside. It looks beautiful. Now, let me go ahead and set up my 2 SATA drives. I still need to go slap them on my MacBook and do a quick little format of them. Then we'll go ahead and plug everything in here. I'll even plug the NVMe. I'll get it out of the package first because it may take me an hour to get it out of the package. And then we'll go ahead and connect it up to my MacBook and we'll check things out. So hold tight. All right, I am back. Ran into some snafus. With any project, there's always snafus, so be prepared. So my 2 SATA drives that I purchased after I took them out of the bubble wrap, they were not what I ordered. The sticker says one thing, but what they are after you go into formatting is another thing. So I'm returning those. That doesn't stop me from doing the NVMe, though, and so I can at least do some testing, because that was my main purchase. I want to run from this, but also back up to it. So I've got to order some new SATA drives. And you know how I talked about earlier, the littlest of screws, there's black holes under desks that suck things in. So I've got little baggies that I put the 2 screws holding this plastic onto the Terra-Master. And I also put another little silver screw. You can't see it, but it fell out of the packaging from the HP. So I opened this, and instead of having it someplace strategic, it flew out and it flew underneath my desk. So it took me 10 minutes to find that little thing. But, so, this is what an NVMe memory stick. It looks like a piece of bubble gum. Very thin, very small. This particular HP brand I purchased, this little sticker that's on the top, supposedly, since there's no big heat sink on there, supposed to, I don't know what the word is, dissipate heat, kind of like a, what those little things that you put on top would do. What I just called it a name, forgot what the name already was, heat sink. So here's what it looks like, very small. There's different keyed style out there. This is the right one for the Thermaltake Hybrid D5. So this is what I'm going to put in. So what's cool, so there's a thumb screw on here. So I'll hold it up. I'm going to, my hand's not that big. Thumb screw remove. And put it over here. I don't want it falling under the desk. So I'm not going to hold this up here when I'm doing this, but maybe I'll focus in a little bit on here. I don't know if you really need to see it that close, but elongate, come down, and I don't know if it'll focus on there, but we'll try. So we're taking said NVMe stick, keying it up. These are kind of keyed. You'll see there's kind of a little key. One side's got the smaller connection and one's the bigger. I took the screw out, so I'm going to take my glasses off because I can't see. I'm going to slip it in this hole and push in. It was a nice firm, and see how it kind of dong holds up like that? That's where the thumb screw is going to come back in. So that's the angle that you're kind of, I guess, pushing it in. And then you're leaning it down and taking said thumb screw and fighting. It's really small. So, okay, I'll end it there. I'm screwing it in. And this really doesn't need to be that tight. Just, I'm going to put it in hand tight. I may get a little screwdriver here in a second. No, I think that's plenty. Oh, no, hold on. Let me grab a little screwdriver. I just want to put it in there just a little. I don't want it to come loose. And I do have lots of tools around here. So, little screwdriver, just slight. Don't over-wrench this. And this is all for view, for looking. You do your own homework. Do your own hands. Do your own stuff. I can't tell you exactly what to do, but this is what I'm doing, and it's working for me. So if you break your own thing, that's your own fault. So that's there. That's simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. So it's in the farthest slot over here. Now let's just put the case back on and try to do all this. So this should just go down over the top and push. Remember, when I opened it, it went... Now it was... And then go to the back here where the screws are. I won't bore you with putting those two screws because it'll probably take me 5 more minutes because I'm kind of blind. So I'm going to put these screws in. I'm going to come back to you with this connected to my MacBook, an older 2014 13-inch. And we're going to see if it can be seen by the operating system and that I can format it. It's only 1 terabyte, so it should be fine. And then we'll go from there. So hold tight. All right, testing time. I've buckled up my D5 Hybrid here, plugged it into power. I'm right now just connecting it to an older MacBook, 2014, through regular USB connection. So I do not expect the speed to be astronomically wonderful on this, but in the next test, I will connect it to a USB-C port on my iPad and see about running a test there if I can. But for now, we need to do a little bit of a format and see if this drive can even be seen. Right now, it's when I boot it up, I haven't even turned this on, so we're going to turn on said computer, Terra-Master, and see if it actually mounts up and says initialize. That's what my guess is it will be. So I'm turning on, a couple little lights on here turned on and a power light down here. And yeah, so it sees the drive. Are you seeing that well enough? You probably don't need to see my step-by-step on that. Yeah, it's really small. But let me come in here a little bit. So bear with me here. That should be good enough. Okay. And focus in on the screen. Cool. So we're going to initialize the drive. Hopefully initialization and everything goes okay. So let's go ahead and hit initialize. Brings up disk utility. And it's highlighted my internal hard drive. So remember, when you're in pillaging on your own disk utility or whatever program, make sure you're selecting the right drive. You don't want to, and again, I'm only doing this for showing you what's happening with me. Do your own homework, because I can't be blamed for silly, dumb things you do. But I'm going to go down and here, external, and I'm going to select, it sees the HP SSD. And it says it's 1.02 terabytes in size. Now, this drive, per the specs, says it can do Apple AP formatting. APF, I forgot the letters already. What's it say over there? APFS. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because my iPad can also view that too. So initialize. I'm going to go up and click on erase. And it automatically brought up APFS as the format. I could change it to different options, but I think I'm going to stick on that. I'm pretty much an Apple. I mean, I could go to macOS Extended, and it would probably be a little bit more compatible with older things, but let's just go APFS on this since this supposedly works with it fine. Let's name this iPad iPad HD. And I got I want to capitalize it, right? Back. Small I, big P. iPad HD. I'm just going to leave it with the GUID partition map. And I've made sure I'm on the right drive. It is erase. And I'm going to click erase. So now erasing. This takes a second. Or a few seconds. Mounting disk. Unmounting volumes. It goes through some gibberish and it says it's done. Operation successful. So as long as you read operation successful, that's good. So now on my desktop, I have this fun little iPad HD icon that I could double click and it is there. All right, more snafus that I ran into, but we can now still do a test, and it's blazingly fast. So what I ran into is my Kensington Dock with this nice fast iPad Air connected to it, running a speed test using a program called Diskio. I even tried one called Drive Speed. It was dirt slow as my USB connection from my old MacBook. And I'm scratching my head. So there is some type of, either it's an iPad O issue through communications through that Kensington Dock, which then goes to a USB-C port. I was getting the same speeds. So I go, something's not right here. It's always, iPad's a little bit of a different OS as well. So I got to take everything with a grain of salt. Maybe there's some things that are built into it to connect to external hard drives that it does. But if I connect directly this with a USB-C cable to it, not using the dock, it is blazingly fast. So what does that tell me? I need to do some research. I need to, for my workflow, switch to a different docking solution because for whatever reason, the Kensington is dirt slow. Maybe I'll try one of the USB 3 ports instead of the USB-C port. They're the same thing, kind of, so it shouldn't make a difference, but I'll try everything before I say this dock solution is no longer a viable thing. But I want to run you a test, so I've directly connected this with the one NVMe in there, and you saw what speeds I was getting from an old USB cable connected to an old MacBook. This is an iPad Air 5, and I'm going to launch Diskio, and is that clear enough there where you can see speed? Let me zoom in just a little bit here where you see less of me and more of it and focus in on that. And we're going to select not the iPhone. We want to connect to the iPad HD, which is empty right now. So it's now on iPad HD. I'm going to close this. Oh, I hit the X like a dummy. Close this. I'm going to hit start. Look at the speed. I don't know if my face is in the picture anymore because I'm focused in, but so write was 667 megabytes per second. Read is also pretty dang fast, 497 megabytes per second. That's with a direct connection through the USB-C port on my iPad Air to this. So pretty speedy. Definitely much different than what I'm used to connecting a small spinning hard drive to my Kensington Dock, which may have been a roadblock all along. I'm going to have to investigate that more. But let's just run it says exceptional. Usain Bolt might have some competition with your device in the 100-meter dash. Let's run it again. Repeat. Needless to say, that's pretty dang speedy. Is it the fastest in the world? No. NVMe can go considerably faster with the right, I think, system. This is an iPad, so take it for whatever it is. So, yeah, 667 megabytes per second down. Right, I should say, not down. And read was 497, so that's pretty speedy. Let me pan out and we'll wrap up this video. Like I said, I'm going to have to do some investigation because my Kensington Dock solution seems to be slowing down things. So maybe I'll try some different cabling. Ultimately, I might have to look at a different dock because for whatever reason, the iPad connected via USB-C, there's a docking that you connect it into, but the ports on the back are dirt slow. I don't get it. So anyway, was this a success? So far, I'm having a hard drive snafu that I need to deal with the supplier. Maybe it's something that you have to format the drive differently to make it work right. I don't know. The drives weren't what they said they were supposed to be, so that's another story. But the NVMe went pretty smoothly, installs smoothly. Everything is rather easy to do without much documentation. Connecting directly to my iPad. I don't have any other really computers to do speed tests on. This is my most recent iPad, so that's what you're going to get a test on. So I will start playing now, and I'll connect some internal SATA drives eventually when I get some. So we'll let you know how that goes. But for now, unboxing done, check. First, setup and test, check. Connected directly to my iPad. It's working very fast. So I can see this being a good solution for me. And we'll go from there. So more videos to come. Thanks for watching this long video. Bye.